2025 was the year that our family of four took a road trip for 24 days, driving from Virginia to California and back again. For the fun of memories, we recorded as much as we could, and these vlogs are from our daily experiences throughout this trip. I would definitely not say this was a vacation of relaxation. There was lots of work to do each day, and that was after many months, 5 or 6 months of planning before we even left. But this morning I was up at 5:15, getting everything packed and breakfast ready to go. We did choose to stay in as many Airbnbs as we could so that we could make our own food. This isn't the healthiest of food for breakfast, but it is vacation, and everyone likes treats on vacation. So we had some eggs, pigs in a blanket, and a fruit smoothie with this breakfast. I also promised you at the end of the last vlog that I would explain why this was what we voted as the worst Airbnb that we stayed at. Were you wondering why? Was it because of pests or loud neighbors? Nope. Here's why. We're all packed up. We're ready to go for day 20, leaving Wyoming, headed to South Dakota. Cute little front porch we didn't use. I figured out why there are 2 dryers. It's because this one doesn't work. So they probably just need to haul that off. Every night at an Airbnb before we go to bed, we check and make sure all of the windows are locked and the doors, of course. And what we discovered last night was none of the windows in this Airbnb either lock or have locks. So that was a little bit uncomfortable, but I guess in Grable, Wyoming, they must not have many issues with crime. I think there's only about 1,600 people, at least in the city limits here. So we didn't die. We are headed out now. Day 20. Honestly, how would you have felt sleeping in a strange place with no locks on your doors or windows? Otherwise, it was a nice house. It had all the accommodations we needed. And if that was the worst place we stayed in during this 24-day road trip, I think we fared pretty well. I believe today was the most unexpected and pleasant part of our trip. So yesterday, we spent the whole day driving through Yellowstone National Park. And today's part of the road trip is going from Wyoming to South Dakota. We have a couple little field trip stops to make, but what we did not expect was the Bighorn Mountains. Actually, I'd never heard of them before, didn't know we were going to be driving through them, and they are amazing. Seeing the size of these mountains as we approached them yesterday, we actually got a little worried about the potential for car sickness and all the cutbacks we were going to be doing to cross these mountains, but it turned out to be a very lovely drive. I would enjoy going back just to drive. The view was lovely. It was open. You weren't crowded in with a lot of trees. And online research told us that the Bighorn Mountains, their peaks are 2,000 feet above the peaks in Yellowstone. So we weren't just seeing things. These were huge mountains. During the many months of planning for this road trip, I looked for stops along the way to help break up the monotony of long driving days. So anywhere interesting we could stop for a field trip, I was researching, and what I found for the stop this morning in Wyoming was the Occidental Hotel. Yesterday was a big nature day, so today we got to enjoy a little bit of history. You can find some documentaries on YouTube about the Occidental Hotel and its history, and it was neat just to walk through it and see all of the old stuff and the stuffed stuff. There was lots of photographs, old tools. There was even a very old-fashioned phone that kids found interesting. My cross-stitchy eyes spotted a lovely cross-stitch on the wall, wanted to take a little picture of. And the kids also had itchy fingers that really wanted to play the piano. That was in the lobby, but there was no one around to ask and get permission from, so they didn't get to play it. We didn't make this a super long stop. We had many miles to go. But if you have to stretch your legs and use the restroom somewhere, it's nice to do it with something interesting to look at. And this was a cool stop. Glad we were able to make it. As we get back on the road, I wanted to make a note and remember that Wyoming has the bumpiest roads. Out of our whole road trip across the U.S., these were the bumpiest. Well, we passed Gillette, Wyoming, crossed into South Dakota, headed into the Black Hills. Now, we had packed a lunch for today, but I didn't really have a specific plan on where we were going to eat. We were just going to look somewhere nice with a picnic table. But we had friends that had been in the area previously in years before, and they suggested that we eat our lunch at Sylvan Lake. Sylvan Lake is in Custer State Park in South Dakota. The funny part to us was that yesterday we had this beautiful, quiet, private lunch on the lake in Yellowstone. And so today we were thinking, well, it's a weekday. We're going to a state park. You know, it's going to be a nice, quiet, private lunch again. But when we got there, that place was packed. Like, you barely found parking. There was people everywhere. They were enjoying the lake. They were hiking. They were in canoes. They were getting ice cream. It was just a very busy place. But once we settled down and ate our lunch and then took the time to take a walk around at least half the lake and see things, we were okay. We weren't expecting the crowds. It was just kind of strange after having so much quiet and privacy the day before. But this was a really cool place. The rocks that were coming up, and they kind of made the border of the dam at the end of the lake. It was really interesting.
It's contained by the rock. That's the craziest thing ever. I thought the trail would continue.
It's probably because it rained recently and the lake is too. Tunnel. No.
This is Hood Tunnel.
Look.
Oh, cool.
This is so cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a one car.
And you can see the other side.
That's neat.
We left our Airbnb this morning at 7:38 a.m. Mountain Time, and we reached our final field trip stop of the day by 2:50 p.m., and that was at Mount Rushmore. This was a short 25-minute stop, and the whole time consisted of walking from the car to go see the carvings and then walking back to the car. So we left there, and our final destination was at a Holiday Inn in Rapid City, South Dakota. We arrived to that hotel just after 4 p.m., and here were our total expenses for today, including checking into the hotel this evening. Everyone was ready to rest up. We have another long driving day ahead of us tomorrow with one more field trip stop. I hope you have a lovely afternoon, and thanks for joining us as we vlog through our coast-to-coast road trip.